Today, the number of people in Yorubas that are skeptical in Yoruba-speaking areas, that I'm trying to say, are more skeptical of an Igbo presidency than anybody from the north. Why? Because Northerners are not competitors to the Igbos, but the Yorubas are. What is the stake in Nigeria? The education and capital. We don't have the capital in the north. We don't have enough educated people. We will have one day, I know. There will be a time when we'll surpass the south. The time is coming, but it's not now. It's not there yet. So there is no serious competition between the north and the south, except the unfortunate ill feeling of the civil war. Well, my suggestion is this: that one, I'll direct it to our Igbo compatriots, that they should go out, seek understanding with fellow Nigerians. Tell them that, in fairness, they should be supported to produce the next president. But don't let them issue threats. Threat wouldn't work when you are looking for something like this, because threat doesn't get you votes. This thing is a matter of casting votes. When somebody goes into booth to cast his vote, it will be he and his God alone. So win his heart. Don't try to antagonize him. If you antagonize him, he will not vote for you. And he has not committed any sin or offense. So persuade, this is the reason why political parties campaign. It's just to persuade people. Election is a matter of persuasion. I will just send this message to my Igbo compatriots. I have a lot of them who are my friends, but unfortunately a lot of them have gone. But I still have some, even though they are not my age mates. Let them moderate their method of appeal for votes, but it will pay them better if they use better language in trying to win votes from Nigerians. We are all better off in Nigeria. Like I said before, any village you go, you see the presence of Igbo. If you don't see him physically, you will see electricity bulbs bought from the Igbo. You will see spare parts bought from the Igbo, and so many other things. So even where Igbos have not been able to produce a president in Nigeria, they dominate economic life of Nigeria. When you dominate a market of 200 million people, you better be counting on them in your calculation. You stay in Nigeria as your country. Nobody can drive you out. You sell your wares anywhere you like. You wouldn't have that if there is no Nigeria. Igbos and Hausas are the people who go out of their original habitat, but the Yorubas don't. We are not like them. So I'm advising the younger ones, you see, we are finished, but the younger ones, tomorrow is for you. Don't destroy your future. Don't let some of our cantankerous people who are inciting you to leave Nigeria. Don't leave. Don't do that. It's not for your own good. Thank you very much.
I had always thought that the reason why everybody hated Peter Obi was because he's an Igbo man. Even though that is one of the reasons, but why? After immense thoughts I've come to the conclusion that the reason why they don't like Peter Obi does not only lie on his Igbo-ness or on his Igbo-ship, but more on preserving the status quo. Now, what is the status quo? You see, Nigeria ordinarily was formed on a wrong foundation. And why do I say so? The Southern Protectorate and the Northern Protectorate has very, very different pedestal on which these regions were formed. For starters, the Southern Protectorate was more of a Christian-oriented region and has cultures that are rooted in African values. The North, on the other hand, is Islamically oriented, and part of it are Muslim Christians, and then basically some of the cultures there have been taken over by Islam. Okay, having established this, for purpose of economic convenience of the British colonial masters, they decided to integrate the Southern and Northern Protectorate. Now that is not even the problem. Over time, since independence, a type of system has evolved. A system of corruption, a system of the jungle mentality where the strong eats the weak has taken over Nigeria. Now, a group of people believe that they own Nigeria and they can do whatever it pleases them with it. When Peter Obi was campaigning from consumption to production, zero tolerance on corruption and all of that, Peter Obi's idea of Nigeria is a Nigeria that will give no room for corruption. But there are people who have been thriving on a Nigeria that is corrupt. Now, when you look at Nigeria, the police, our policing is rubbish. Our medical system, rubbish. Educational system, rubbish. I was speaking with a copper some days ago, and when I was trying to interact grammatically, not even the grammar, intellectually, I was disappointed. So everything about Nigeria is on a decline. And I'll tell you one thing for sure. The only thing that is sustaining Tinubu right now is religion and tribalism. Without these two retrogressive elements, Tinubu will not even stand a chance of coming fourth or fifth. Even my chickens that I'm rearing in the house will win an election ahead of Tinubu. So, they are afraid of Peter Obi because a Peter Obi's administration will turn the apple cart, will change the status quo. How do you explain that the only entry of goods into the country, of imports into the country is through Lagos? Why? How? When the main people that are responsible for the imports in Nigeria are the Southeasterners, yet the proximity of the seaport is not close to them. Now, I'm not making a case for the Southeasterners because this is not the purpose of this Igbo. The purpose of this video is to explain why they don't want a Peter Obi. Because I know if Peter Obi were to be a Yoruba man, every Yoruba man will be proud to have somebody like him. If Peter Obi were an Hausa man, let's say Abdul Karim, Obi Karim, every Hausa man, every Muslim will be proud to have a person like him. And I think Peter Obi's crime is that he's not a Muslim and he's not a Northerner. But they know very well that he's a good man. But I'm very sure that when Peter Obi comes in, he's going to change a lot of things. And those changes will affect, number one, it will affect the seaport in Lagos. Two, it will affect the Fulani agenda in Nigeria, it will affect a lot of things. And you see, these people that are destroying Nigeria, for some weird reason, don't care about the country. Tinubu does not care about Nigeria. All he cares is his ambition and this plastic image that he's fighting for the Yoruba people. He's not. The northern leaders don't care about Nigeria. All they care is about the regional interests. Now, Nigeria can be better if and only when a leader that has a nationalistic mindset comes in, where as soon as he assumed the presidency, he's no longer an Igbo man, he's no longer a Fulani man, he's no longer a Yoruba man, he's now a Nigerian. If not, how do you explain people unaliving? Lives in Nigeria no longer means anything. 200 lives, 100 lives, 54 lives, every day. Every day. And we pretend and move on as if this is a country? No. No. Well, I just felt I should drop this one. Whether you like it or not, so long as you continue to cling on your biases, you cling on your hatred, you cling on your religious and tribal proclivities that have drawn this country so back into the abyss of poverty. We'll keep crying and keep complaining. I don't have any misgivings against Tinubu or Buhari, but the options available for us clearly indicates that Peter Obi is way ahead of a more favorable choice. But if you want this country to continue wobbling in its infinitesimal doldrum, it's still your choice. After all, like I said in most of my video, I will never come to social media and say that or
fact that Peter Obi made it to that gathering is remarkable. And you don't forget, since the demise of Nnamdi Azikiwe, Peter Obi is the most formidable presidential candidate to have come out from the southeast.
Since Azikiwe? Since Azikiwe. What about Alex Ekwueme and...
Alex Ekwueme, was he really a presidential candidate? He didn't get the ticket, did he? He didn't get the ticket. He lost the ticket to Obasanjo. And earlier on, I think he had also lost it to Obasanjo. Alex Ekwueme was in the forefront in the formation of PDP. But unfortunately, during the short transition program of General Abdul Salami Abubakar, Alex Ekwueme and the founders of PDP were off stage, and they removed, Olusegun Obasanjo from the prison and gave him the ticket, because they zonalized the presidency to the southwest. You remember that his other opponent on APP platform was also Olufalai. But I tell you again, Peter Obi is a very, very formidable politician now. He has
what makes him formidable?
It's because, I was going there, it's because of the passionate followers that he has. It's because of the reach.
Can we say he's the Buhari of the Southeast of sorts?
Yes, he's a Buhari.
Because they say that, okay,
exactly.
Buhari, he had his fanatic 12 million votes.
Exactly.
That come rain, come shine,
exactly.
They are there for him.
Exactly. So the sentiment in Southeast, is suggesting a Peter Obi presidency. Don't forget, Peter Obi won Lagos in 2023. I think he won Benue.
With Tinubu on the ballot.
With Tinubu on the ballot.
He defeated him.
He defeated the Lagosian, the ex-governor of Lagos, called Bola Tinubu. And you know what he scored in Plateau and in Benue. So Peter Obi has basically, inherited that Zikist political followership. And I tell you that even in the north now, a lot of people, especially young people, especially educated people, are saying that it's time for a southeastern president, and they see hope and promise in Peter Obi.
As a political analyst,
that's why his presence at this consultative group even going to the extent of delivering
A keynote address.
Yes, a keynote address is something worldwide.
And that is what I want to ask. How significant is that? What message are these people of northern extraction are sending to Tinubu and the APC?
Very good question. I think the message to Tinubu is that minus him and his cabal, the entire country is against him. The northern politicians, the northern technocrats, and all those who gathered at Continental Hotel today understand something. Even though Peter Obi, like the politician he is, he said the North can change Nigeria.
And despite the endorsement, you know, last week it was actually, you know, coterie of endorsement by, is it the Northwest, is it the whole of the National Assembly? You know, we saw endorsement upon endorsement.
I will make this point, then come to those endorsements.
Okay.
So I'm saying that the message at the consultative group is that the North and the Southeast are about to have another handshake
Across the Niger.
Yes, and if you remember decades ago, there was, you know, there were alliances. In fact, fusion, if you like, between the Southeast and the North, whether it was during Tafawa Balewa or it was during Shehu Shagari. You know, so the message is that the North and the Southeast are working together to unseat Tinubu. And because there is also another thought, just like Sule Lamido said, Tinubu is an emperor. So how do you remove an emperor? You use blood, toil, and tears to remove an emperor. And what it means is that in 2027, Tinubu might not accept being defeated. And who knows, the struggle to remove Tinubu might spill over into Onisha streets, Kaduna streets, Kano streets, Enugu streets, Owerri streets, and so on.
The APC has no political strategy. They are in a ditch and they are digging. And the rule about being in the ditch is you stop digging. That's the first rule about being in the ditch. You stop digging. They don't have thinkers. They don't have strategies. Otherwise, what they did in Sokoto, and they went and repeated in Gombe, and they want to do that all over the place. Because the North alone can't elect a president, but the North has a massive say in terms of who becomes president. And the people, if there are people who are designing his strategies for him at this stage, with about a year and 9 months to go, a year and 6 months to go, they should be saying to him, Mr. President, first of all, they will monitor what's going on. If they do, they are likely to find that if you get 10, don't listen to the governors. They tell the president exactly what he wants. Don't listen to the ministers. They will tell him exactly what he wants to hear. Find a way to get to listen to Northerners. 8 out of every 10 Northerners are saying, we will not vote this government. I'm telling you.
That's out on the streets?
Out on the streets, on the farms, when they're running away from bandits and kidnappers and terrorists. That's what they're saying. And what else do you want them to say? Life is a lot more difficult economically. It's a lot more threatening. Their security is in a mess. What do you want them to say? We love this president? So what they would do is to design a strategy, for instance, that mitigates the damage that the policies of the government are wrecking the lives of people. And I'm not saying this, I'm not particular about the North. I'm telling you the failures of the administration are nationwide. You have a very prominent member of the PDP, a founding member of the PDP, a vice president for 8 years. He competed 3 times, contested 3 times, President Atiku, highly respected person. Would you respect, and I've made this public, would you respect to him? I think he should be a hero of democracy, but I don't think he should aspire to even lead this country. I think he should be a father figure. He should be involved in the building of an alternative to APC, but he should bring in new blood, new perspectives, new people, and say, the future belongs to you. We will stand behind you. Amechi should do the same thing. Verify if he feels he can handle his own ego, should be part of this thing. But those faces should not be the ones that are telling Nigerians, give us power and we will do different.
So you expect them to be at the background?
Absolutely. And look, if you have contested for vice president for presidency for 3 times, and you don't get it, and you're approaching 80. For goodness sake, I mean, something should tell you that it's time to be a father. In Africa, being a father is a great thing. You decide, literally, my gut feeling is, if Atiku would say, I will call it quits as far as aspiring to be president is concerned, but I have a condition. I, maybe in consultation with a few people, will decide a set of people who step in our place. And if I do that, I want you and you and you, the key people involved in this, all of us stand down. None of us is going to contest for the presidency. We want younger people, more energetic people, healthier people, not people who have just simply been so exposed to power they can't live outside power. If you give those people power, they're just going to be like President of Tinubu's government.
Welcome back to Local Journal, my people. For me, I'm an advocate of justice, and I believe in this saying that says, injustice to one is injustice to all. If you are saying that the Igbos have no right to clamor for secession in Nigeria, then you should allow them have a test of presidency, because they are part of the majority we have in this country. So I don't understand the rationale behind not allowing them to become the president. I, for one, think Nigeria needs an Igbo presidency at this point, because Nigeria is facing a whole lot of issues economically. And for me, I think these guys are the economic life wire of Nigeria. So if they become the president, I think they have everything and they know how to stabilize the economy. And that is the reason why we must allow them to test the presidency, because other regions cannot continue to ostracize them or deny them their rights. For me, there is nothing an Igbo man has done to warrant this kind of hatred or to make them undeserving or to blacklist them of not testing that presidency. So it's high time we take away all this difference. Of course, the country is not working and everybody is clamoring for division. But the thing is this, I still want the Igbos to have a test of presidency so that we'll know what they are going to bring to the table. I'm very convinced that with the business acumen of the Igbos, they are going to bring a whole lot to the table. And that is the reason why I'm urging everyone to shun this idea of tribalism and ethnicity so that we can focus on making Nigeria great. Of course, we know that Nigeria is facing a whole lot of challenge at the moment. But the thing is this, I believe an Igbo presidency can stabilize Nigeria. So let's give them a shot at presidency and let's try them come 2027. That's what I have to say in this video. Kindly drop what you have to say in the comment section. And if today is your first time to visit our channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel.